OMG, Talia, how are you going to feed yourself alone? Cereal, Talia wrote immediately. I'm bringing you a smoke alarm and a fire extinguisher. Don't turn on the stove before I get there. LOL, my mom is already on it. Jessie had always done the cooking in their old apartment, another thing Talia was going to miss. What about the other problem you have? Jessie asked. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Now you can only bring home guys with small feet. Frowny face. Talia burst out laughing, this time for real. That wasn't going to be a problem. No one was setting foot in this apartment, no matter how big their, shoes. Not only because the place was too small, but because she was going to be too busy for lousy dates, the only kind that seemed to exist. Either they talked endlessly about themselves, thought ballerina meant sweet little thing, or took one look at her dancer's feet and made the kind of yuck face that said they hadn't expected a real person to exist under her clothes. No, thank you. At least her vibrator didn't judge her, didn't snore, and always made her see stars. No matter how many times she hoped a man might be different, her luck never held. So she was done wasting her time. She had work to do. She'd been so excited about the apartment, it was only after Stacy handed her the keys that she stopped to process what else that meant, besides unlimited dance parties in her underwear. Just thinking about it made a huge bass drum pound in her chest. In the background, the music to Giselle's dramatic death scene swelled and soared. Giselle, as in the character, in the ballet called Giselle. Yeah. It was kind of a major role. And it was supposed to be Stacy's. Talia was the understudy, safely out of the spotlight unless Stacy got injured or sick. Or, apparently, unless Stacy left the city altogether with no hint about where she was going or when she'd be back. Talia thought she'd wanted a leading role more than anything, only now that it had been unexpectedly thrust upon her, some secret part of her wished she could hand it back. What if she messed up? What if she wasn't good enough? What if the audience started booing, wishing it were Stacy on stage instead? She'd spent her whole life dreaming of the chance to dance like this. What if she bombed it again? The night before the auditions for Giselle, she'd stayed up until sunrise boosting the morale of the guy she'd thought was her boyfriend with praise, accolades, and blowjobs after his feature film was rejected from Cannes. Max needed her, she'd rationalized. A good girlfriend was supposed to be selfless. Only, it turned out Max Mathers had a different assessment of their relationship, one that left him free to pursue other blowjobs in the course of cheering himself up. And Talia found herself exhausted and stumbling over the steps as Hal Burton, the famous choreographer, muttered to himself and shook his head, then told her to try a wheatgrass shot. She looked a little peaky. Gross. She didn't care how many green goddess smoothies the other dancers choked down. Wheatgrass was never the answer. Now, she had another chance. She wasn't going to blow it, which meant no dating, no hookups, and absolutely zero distractions. She knew Jessie was trying to make her happy about having her own place, but she couldn't think about guys right now. She hadn't even unpacked that vibrator. Dance was her world, and she wanted it that way. She went through the routine once more, and then it was lights out so she could get her full 8 hours before tomorrow's big rehearsal. Her first as Talia Lassiter, lead principal dancer in Giselle. Not Talia Lassiter, understudy, hidden in the wings. Maybe everything wasn't perfect. She could still hear the trickle of the toilet, and texting Jessie goodnight wasn't the same as popping into her room and saying it in person. But she was that